Hey, I'm Hannah from Belvista Studios. If you are an instructional designer and you would like to develop, improve, and grow, and you would like to add to your trusty instructional designer toolkit, then this video is for you. Hang around. What I'm going to be talking about today is our epic platform called the Creator Hub. It's full of resources and tools that are relevant for you as an instructional designer. In this video, I'm going to go through the top 10 instructional design tools on our Creator Hub. They're free. You can download them in the description below. So my suggestion is to take note as I go through each resource on which ones will add the most value to you, and then head on down to the description and download it. They add a lot of value to us and our team. So we do truly believe that it can add value to you as well. So you're in a great place right now. Number 10 is alt-tabbing Storyline 360 tips. So if you are an instructional designer or an e-learning developer and you use Articulate Storyline, we have developed a tip sheet for how to make your Articulate Storyline e-learning course accessible. So accessible, if you don't know, means that it's accessible for different types of people. So there's different levels of accessibility. And so it's A, AA, and AAA, and it depends on how accessible you want your course to be. But basically it helps people who are hearing impaired, vision impaired, and enables your solution to be accessible by a wider variety of people. So it's for instructional designers, e-learning freelancers, consultants, and agencies who want to develop courses that better align with accessibility standards, have a guide to follow that's relevant to Articulate Storyline, include alt-tabbing in your e-learning solutions. So if this is going to be useful for you, head on down to the description and download. Number 9 is graphic design tips resource. So our team has worked on quite a few e-learning modules. Our founder of Belvista Studios is very good at graphic design, and we are learning it as a team. Basically, it enables you to create e-learning and gives you advice on how you can make it more graphically appealing, more user-friendly. Some example topics are avoiding too much text, making it intuitive, the meaning of different colors. So if you are wanting to improve your graphic design techniques in terms of how you develop your e-learning courses, then head on down to the description once again and download. Number 8 is writing effective scenario questions guide. So this has been so useful for our team. We have spent a lot of time trying to figure out the best way to write scenario questions. We take on a human-centered design approach. So what we've done is we have made sure that the way that we create scenario questions reflect the real world. So you will find guidance on how you can do that. But basically, scenario questions enable people to practice in an online environment. So it helps you to create behavior change because they're able to practice something not in the real world, but in that online environment. So they have that sort of space to make mistakes and fail without being in the real world and doing it. So they are super useful, I think, for learning solutions. So yeah, the guide is basically a step-by-step process for how we write our scenario questions. So yeah, if you think that'll add value to you, head on down to the description and download. Number 7, so we have branching scenarios, a case study. So this is a project that we are super proud of that we created, and it's an e-learning course that was a branching scenario. We learned a lot from it. We were super proud of the outcome and the process that we followed. So what we do in this case study is we walk you through exactly what we did in that project, share the learnings with you, share tips with you so that you can apply that to your own projects. So potentially you're interested in creating a branching scenario, or you want to learn how to do that, or it's something you're considering for future projects. And if that is the case, head on down to the description, download and check it out. Number 6, so we've got our video planning and logistics template. So this is for learning solutions that involve filming or recording videos. So an example is we created an induction video that was an interactive video. So people made decisions and that sent them down a different path in terms of the videos that they saw. So through creating projects like this, we started to generate a list of what we needed. So sort of like a checklist of what was required to make sure we did everything that we needed to be successful in recording the videos, finding actors for the videos, uploading the videos to the e-learning course. So if you are going to be working on a project that incorporates videos, definitely check out that template because you can learn from our mistakes and use that as a checklist before you get into it. Number 5. So number 5 is our quality assurance checklist. So this is something that is super important for our team. We make sure that we always conduct a quality assurance check on our e-learning courses. And what that means is we have someone who develops the course, and then we have someone else who also checks it. So using this quality assurance checklist, they would go through and check, is the font all the same? Does the font match the client's style guide? Are the correct colors used? Is everything aligned? And it's basically checking that everything is right and the quality of the e-learning module is appropriate before it goes for client review, before it gets handed over the final time. So it's really useful. Even if you're working solo and you don't have someone else checking, you can go for a walk, take a little break, and then use that checklist yourself to see it with fresh eyes and make sure that you're checking each of the important elements of the e-learning course. Download below. Number 4. So number 4 is our e-learning style guide. So the e-learning style guide is basically a way that we can make our e-learning courses consistent for the same client or the same type of project. So our e-learning style guide lists all of the requirements for a specific type of e-learning. So say, for example, we have Woolworths as a client. We would have an e-learning style guide for Woolworths, and it would display all of their hex colors. It would have the type of font that they use, the type of images that they use, so that any developer in our team can pick up that style guide and they will develop something that aligns with the brand of that company. So if you are wanting to create consistent e-learning, or you have more than one course from a specific company or client, then that is super useful to download and use. Number 3 is a user acceptance testing approval template. This enables you to close your projects officially. So I don't know if you've experienced it, but sometimes you hand over a project, it's all finished, and you're like, sweet, it's done, move on to the next project. And then a couple of months later, that client comes back or stakeholder comes back and says, hey, I want to make changes, or we want to do it differently now. And this template, basically what it does is it enables you to get approval at the end of the project, so that when people do come back and ask questions months down the track or weeks down the track, you have that user acceptance testing approval document that they've signed. So you get them to sign it at the end of the project, and you can say, hey, this project's been closed off. If you are wanting those changes, we're going to have to start another project, or this is out of scope for this project as it's officially closed. So it does make your life a lot easier and just stops you from making changes into the future when the project should be closed off or completed. Oh, getting exciting. Number 2. So number 2 are project brief questions, and they enable you to effectively scope a training solution. So before you get started in the project, you want to find out everything that you need to know, get all of the stakeholders on the same page. I won't go into detail, but there are just so many things to consider before you start a learning solution or a project. So basically what it has is it's all the questions that you can ask your stakeholder or your client to get all the information that you need so you get a successful start on your project. You might be feeling overwhelmed, which I can totally relate to, of what questions you should be asking to get the information that you need. So download that below. Okay, excitement. Number 1. So number 1, this is the most downloaded resource on our Creator Hub for instructional designers. And I'm not surprised that this is number 1 because it's epic. Comes in handy, I use it all the time, is our storyboard template. A storyboard is like a prototype for an e-learning course. Before you go into developing the course, you create a rough prototype, and that's what our storyboard is. So it lists all of the content, it shows what would be on screen, but it's like very rough. It's like no color, black and white, and it's just making sure that the concept and the content is right before you go into too much effort of developing. Basically, we're sharing with you the exact storyboard that our team uses. We've used it for multiple projects. It works for us and we continually improve it over time. So if you are needing a storyboard, you can use ours and download it for free below. So that's it for this video. They are our top 10 e-learning and instructional design resources. They're all free. There's a bunch of other resources on our Creator Hub. So if this has added value to you and you are an instructional designer looking to add to your trusty toolkit, check out our Creator Hub. I will put the link in the description below. And thanks for tuning in and learning with us.